For those of you who don't know, I live very near, about a 5-minute drive or a 10-minute walk from the University of New Mexico. I have lived in Albuquerque for about 6 months now, and I have lived in New Mexico for all of my life. That being said, New Mexico is not necessarily a sports hub. We have UNM, and we have a uh, AAA baseball team. We have a minor league soccer team, and that's it. But anyway, um, living so close to UNM and being proud New Mexican as I am, I watched a lot of UNM basketball and UNM football, especially this season. And there were two guys that really stood out to me. One of them was Mr. Donovan Dent. Now I know Donovan Dent was is, in my opinion, probably the one of the greatest men's Lobo basketball players to ever play. Period. Point blank. He was absolutely amazing. Um, but he transferred to UCLA. Same happened with the best quarterback that is probably ever. This isn't really a hot take, but the greatest quarterback to ever come out of UNM is Devin Dampier. It's ironic how they're both double D kind of guys. The double D's. Good gosh. Good googly moogly. The double D's. But Devin Dampier is also probably the best quarterback UNM has ever had. They're 2,768 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. But he was a unit out there on the field. First time UNM ever has beaten a ranked opponent in 20 years in football. I wouldn't be shocked if, even though he played like one season or maybe 2 seasons, that he gets put in the Ring of Honor just for that. It was against Washington State. Washington State was the number 18 team at home. Whipped them 38-35 UNM. I was at that moment I was like, "Oh my gosh, that has never happened in my lifetime. That has never happened." Like you don't, it doesn't happen in UNM football. UNM football is bad. Always has been, probably always will be, but that was like, holy shit. That happened. As a fan of football and as a fan of New Mexico, that was shocking. And you know what? He transferred to Utah pretty much right after that game. Right at like almost right after. He entered the transfer portal, and he is now probably going to be the starting quarterback at Utah. And I'm not mad. Because I realized that being a fan of a mid-major college D1 program is okay. It's okay to have, if your star leaves in the transfer portal, that means that they're good, and you got to see them in their up and coming. They're playing for it. They play harder when they want more money, right? They're like, oh, I'm gonna go get this. I'm gonna go get more money. Go play at Utah. Go play at UCLA, right? And I'm just I want to see them in these big markets. I want to see them on national TV. I'm going to root for them. Even though they're another college, I'm going to root for these guys because they're still New Mexicans. Once a Lobo, always a Lobo. We'll never strip that title from you, no matter if you transfer, because New Mexico had one of the best basketball teams it's had in a long time. The best football team it's had in a long time. And for like it's like we broke records this year. We broke it was the first time that UNM had made it to the second round of the tournament since 1970. Since they had made a larger since they had made a larger bracket. So it was historic, to say the least. But all of New Mexico's 5 starters transferred. Donovan Dent either transferred or graduated. Donovan Dent, he's going to UCLA. Right? I I really hope he does well. I want him to go to the league so bad. True Washington transferred to Miami. Um, he is a defensive menace, and he'll be good. He's gonna be very good. Filip Borovicinen, Slovenian, followed head coach uh, Richard Pitino to Xavier. My brother always talks shit when I mispronounce Xavier. And then Nelly Jr. Mustafa Amanzil and Nelly Jr. Joseph both graduated this season. It was their senior season. They were the last time they could play. Those are the 2 guys who graduated. So 3 out of the 5 starters transferred. 2 graduated. Alphonse, I can't remember his name, but he was like the goofy little white boy. He was all. I actually saw him at the Johnson gym. He was fucking cooking people. But he transferred to Drake. Who else transferred? The other guy followed Richard Pitino to Xavier. And it makes me kind of sad, right? Kind of bittersweet. We had a really good team. Made it to the second round of the tournament. You lost in stunning fashion to Michigan State, who is one of the best teams in the country. But you went there. Like, I'm just like appreciating it. I was sitting in the Frontier restaurant. I was looking at all like these Lobo greats, right? I was like, yeah, Donovan Dent's up there. Richard Pitino is up there for sure. Doesn't matter where they go, it just proves their success. Like, yes, it sucks when your coach leaves and you got to restart, but that's the life of that's life as a mid-major D1. It is what it is. We roll with the punches, baby. How do you think we got Richard Pitino? Because one other coach left for UCLA and then went to Nevada, right? So, we might see him again. And I like Eric Olin, the guy they hired from UC San Diego. He's a good coach. First time that Eric Olin, the first season that UC San Diego was a D1 program, they were in the tournament. They only lost to Michigan by 3. They were a 12 seed right below us. So we are in good hands. We got some nice transfers, and we got some nice recruits. So New Mexico basketball is okay. UNM football, I was watching a UNM football. Hired a new head coach, Jason Eck. I watched the Lobo Pod episode with him, and I like him. He's a football guy. I like football guys. You can tell he's like Midwestern, big guy. He's like O lineman. It's a it's a great thing. Oh shit, my poster fell down. That's the great thing about offensive lineman. He was a former offensive lineman. He was a walk on at Wisconsin. Um, is that you can tell they love football. O linemen are the best because of that reason specifically. They have the most unglorious job on the field. Block. That's all you do. Just block. We need you to do an incredible. If your job is not done perfectly, we look bad. But if you do your job perfectly, nobody will fucking notice. If you do your like, that's the greatest. That's the craziest thing about our linemen, right? You do your job perfectly, nobody's gonna give you any credit. It's like, wow, that quarterback's great. Wow, that running back is amazing. Right? Wow, look at that wide receiver. He can catch the ball way down the field, right? But if you do your job bad, you fuck up once. It's like, oh my god, the O-line's fucking horrible. Get him some O-line help. Right? Unsung heroes. And that's what we need at UNM. We are coming off one of the better seasons we've had in a long, long time. I'm gonna look it up really fast because with Bronco Malnhar, with Coach Bronco, rather. I can't pronounce his last name to save my life, but it shot like 6-5, like I know, like 6-7 was their record. 1 second, I'm so sorry. 5-7. UNM going 5-7 in football is historic because we have been historically bad at football. Being a ranked team is historic because we were historically bad. And it's been a wild run. I really hope, like, there's been a lot of talk about a run game, see what we can do, right? I don't have incredibly high hopes, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. The football team opens up against Michigan in Ann Arbor in the big house. So, be honest, I don't think we're pulling that one out, bud. That's the big leagues compared to us. It'll be a good payday for sure. That's why we go there. It's so we're gonna get a nice paycheck. They're gonna see what their team looks like against real live competition. It's more of an OTA than anything. But if they here's my thing. If UNM beats Michigan game 1, August 30th at 5 p.m. in Ann Arbor, Michigan, I will shave half of my head and walk around like that for a week. For the entire week afterwards. Because I would be like shocked. Or shave it right down the middle. I don't care. Put it in the comments. If UNM upsets Michigan in Ann Arbor on August 30th, game 1, what would I do? What should I do? right? It would be outlandish. There's no freaking way this is gonna happen. But anyway, game 2. I'm just gonna go through the UNM football schedule now against Idaho State. You know what? I'm probably gonna have to say this is a W. Idaho State, the FBS smaller school, probably a very winnable game. Against Nico and UCLA on September 12th in Los Angeles. We could pull it out. I'm going to be high hopes, and I'm going to say yes, we can beat UCLA. Against NMSU, of course, we're winning that one, you guys. San Jose State, boy. See, it'll be challenging for sure, especially that game against Michigan to start off the season. But they do. I will do whatever the top comment says. But I don't know. It's just I don't know. I'm kind of ranting and raving, but I think UNM basketball, being a fan of a mid-major school, mid-major college, is the most frustrating, but like the most bittersweet experience, because you have these amazing, like if your team is good, it's like, oh my gosh, we're so freaking good. Like I was convinced UNM was going to win the men's NCAA basketball championship. I was like, we're going to just run the ball down their face. We got the guys. We got Donovan fucking Dent. And I was just like, oh. We had so much success. Just like, snatched it away, right? I was like, oh, we beat a ranked Washington State team, and they're just like they rushed the field at UNM in New Mexico. I don't even think they rushed the field for Brian Urlacher. There's a little trivia for you. Brian Urlacher from Lovington, New Mexico, played for UNM, then played for the Chicago Bears. He is in the NFL Hall of Fame. I have smacked his bald-headed bust in Canton. That's how crazy it is. It is like an emotional roller coaster. The only thing that hasn't brought my blood pressure raising through the roof, being a fan of UNM sports, is track and field. Habdom Samuel, I can count on him. That even if he loses his shoe or trips and falls, he's going to win. It's just what he does. So, man, I don't know, this has been quite the rant. But you guys know what I mean. I'm excited. I'm excited for Eric Olin. I'm excited for Jason Eck. Let's fucking go.